Hello, it's Kat from Cardigang, and today we're going to show you how to shape a V-neck. So we've got two different techniques that we use. We have a right leaning decrease, which is knitting two stitches together, and then we have a left leaning decrease, which is slip, slip, knit. So let's jump right in and show you how we do it. So we split our work in half to create our two sort of front panels at the V-neck. So we're going to start with our right hand side. So this sequence is knitted over 4 rows. So the first row in our sequence is knitting all the way up until we have 4 stitches left on what will become our right hand side. So knit the allocated amount of stitches, and then we're going to do a right leaning decrease. So to do that, we slip our needle through 2 stitches like this, and then wrap our yarn around our back needle and knit that stitch. And then we'll knit our last 2 stitches like normal. And so here you can see our little right leaning decrease, which will become more evident as we continue to knit. Now for the second row in the sequence, we purl the same stitches that we've just knitted. Alrighty, so the third row, this is where we shake things up a little bit. So we're going to create a left leaning decrease around what will become the armhole. So to do that, we knit our first stitches as normal. And then we're going to do a slip, slip, knit. So to do that, pop your needle through as though you're going to knit it and just slip it off. And then do the same thing with your second stitch. And then we're going to put our left needle underneath the front side of those 2 stitches we've just slipped off our needle, like that. And then wrap our yarn around the back and pull it through like you would a knit stitch. So that's how we do a slip, slip, knit. And so we continue to knit our stitches until we are 4 stitches away from where we've split our work in half. And now it's time to do a right leaning decrease. So to do that, we knit 2 stitches together and then knit our last 2 stitches like normal. So we flip our work over and then continue to purl those stitches. So we are going to repeat that 4-row sequence for the allocated amount of rows in your pattern, and then we'll end up with a really nice sort of shaped V-neck and tapered armhole. So you can see here we've got our left leaning decreases from doing the slip, slip, knit, and we have our right leaning decreases from knitting 2 stitches together. So once you've completed that first side, it'll look a little bit like this. So you can see where we've decreased each side, and now it is time to start on the other side. So the first thing we do is rejoin our yarn to our work, and you can either tie a knot to the first stitch or just slip your yarn over like that. And then we knit our first 2 stitches. So the first row in this 4-row sequence starts with a left leaning decrease. So if you remember from the other part, that is slip, slip, and then knit. And then we continue to knit those stitches like normal till the end of the row. And once that row is complete, we flip our work over and then we go back and we purl those same stitches that we've just knitted. So the same as the third row on the other side, it's time to create a decrease on either side of our work. So we start with a left leaning decrease, so we knit 2 stitches like normal, and then we slip, slip, and knit those 2 stitches together by sliding our needle under the front of both of those stitches and wrapping our yarn around our back needle. And then we'll continue to knit until we have 4 stitches left in the row. Alrighty, so now it's time for that right leaning decrease. So we knit 2 stitches together by sliding our needle under the 2 stitches on our left needle, and then knitting the last 2 stitches as normal. And we'll flip our work over and purl that 4th row. So now we know how to do the 4-row decrease sequence for our V-neck, and we'll continue to do that for the allocated amount of rows in our pattern. So once you've finished and cast off your stitches, you'll see here we've got our left and right leaning decrease. And the next step is to pick up stitches and rib that neckline, which we have a separate video for.